I am someone who has said that I think Marjorie Taylor Greene would be a fun person to have beer with, even though I am totally against pretty much everything she stands for. Here recently, she's been talking like she has a little bit more sense because I think she wants to make a run for the presidency. Well, she came on a podcast and said something that has always gotten on my nerves, that I think is another one of these tropes pushed down on us by the colonizers and the white guys to get us to behave in a way that doesn't threaten them. Marjorie Taylor Greene has come out and said she's going to be or she's leaning toward becoming an independent. Anybody who says that to me, I roll my eyes because I think it's total BS. Take a look at what she said and then we'll talk about it.
Do you still consider yourself a Republican?
I would not. I don't really know if I do consider myself one right now. I would say I'm definitely leaning more calling myself an independent.
Have you gone so far as to change your registration?
I haven't not yet. I haven't changed it yet, but I will probably think pretty deeply about doing that. And I think it's important because I think that's where many Americans are leaning. They're finding themselves. They're saying, if they're a Democrat, they're saying, well, the Democrat Party has failed me. If they're a Republican, they're saying, well, the Republican Party has failed me. And, I had tweeted at Rokana this morning. He's mentioned and others have mentioned pulling together a coalition from the left and the right and trying to find a new center because the current center has got us where we are. I mean, that's the reality. The current center with Republicans and Democrats, the way they have been coming together for decades now is what we have. And so I am very interested in like going to a whiteboard and going, okay, let's come together and what does this even look like? And how can we reimagine a new coalition going forward. And I think that's what the younger generations want.
The fuck? There were so many things wrong about what she said. Number one, folks, let's just get this independent centralist shit out the way. Most people that I met who try to come off as if they're independent are just trying to sound smart. They're trying to blend in with both parties so that nobody challenges what they're thinking. They want to act like they're so evolved, they're so above the fray, they're independent. Here's the problem with that shit. At the end of the day, being an independent, you give up your authority and your ability to vote on the primary, which is dumb. You need to be taking place in who your party is going to put as the person that represents you. Number two, when the time comes to vote, if you don't vote third party, you're voting Democrat or Republican. So stop this shit, okay? Stop it. Just stop it. Stop trying to pretend like you're in the middle, especially right now. If you are not voting Democrat, you are actively saying you're voting for fascism. You're actively saying you're voting against the Constitution. You're actively saying you're voting for the rich people to have all the power. You're actively saying you're voting for stupid ass wars. You're actively saying you're voting that people don't have health care. You're actively voting saying that you don't give a damn about kids and education. You're actively voting saying that you want MAGA, white nationalist Christians running shit. That's what that means. So stop it. Pick a side and stop trying to do this I'm above the fray shit. Gets on my nerve. And it has always gotten on my nerves. And I've never understood why people try to act like it's okay because it's not. You, at the end of the day, can call yourself whatever you want to. But when you get in that voting booth, you're picking one or the other one. And then Marjorie, I'll say this about her. Starting to lean more left is making her actually look like a better human being, Marjorie. Just stop the bull job, Marjorie, and just come on out and go full left. Because something she said that got on my nerves was, well, both parties have been trying to play in the center and it's just gotten worse. Look what we've got. She forgot to tell you why people tried to do exactly what I just said. Stop trying to say you're so center and shit. But the American electorate has pulled the people so far to the right, we don't know how to see the left. She forgot to tell y'all about that, didn't she? She forgot that shit. Because while I agree, politics has always been corrupt, there's corruption for sure on both sides. One side has shown you year after year who's more corrupt. and it is by far the Republican Party. From Nixon, Bush going into wars we don't need to be in, to Trump and his just outright corruption, because his voting base is so dumb. They have no ability to critically think and look into anything because they are afraid that they will find out that their heroes is completely against everything that colonists put in place that society is supposed to adhere to. As simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. There is none of this, I'm an independent, I'm in the middle. Just stop it. Stop it. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know good and damn well that this country has pretended to be center, but just got pulled so far to the right, we cannot see left. We need to course correct before this thing is done. So post your comments and let me know. Folks, don't take Marjorie Taylor Greene too serious. Until she comes out and says she's voting with Democrats, don't take her seriously. And she's not doing that because she is planning to make a run as a Republican for president. Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear from you. I want to see what you guys say.